We need to talk about Star Wars. I talk about Star Wars on stream fairly often. We just group watched the trailer. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go watch that on your own. The trailer for Star Wars 9, Rise of Skywalker. And if you missed the magic preview card, it's on the YouTube eventually. You'll find it. It's on my Twitter and stuff. So I like Star Wars a lot. I grew up on Star Wars. The original Star Wars is fantastic. It's a rocky road, and I want to say first off, before we even start, Star Wars fans can be pretty bad. I think that someone said that no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. So fair warning for both the chat in my stream right now and the chat on YouTube or whatever. If you're gonna be crappy, you're gone. End of story. Cool. So love the original movies. I don't like the prequels at all. I don't even think they exist. In my opinion, they don't even exist. For many reasons that are very, very obvious. And the new movies. So let's talk about the new movies before I can talk about Episode 9, Episodes 7 and 8. So Force Awakens. It was fun. It was cool. It was a lot better than the prequels. It was just a fun movie. On first viewing, I loved it. But the more I watched it, the more kind of vacant it is. It is very safe, very remakey in a way. They just kind of put all the pieces back the way they were. You know, somehow the stories that were written like book-wise about post Return of a Jedi were about the rebels being the government and about the Empire being on the fringes, beaten, trying to maybe reclaim their power, you know? Which makes sense because they rebels won the war, they defeated the Emperor, and they should be in control at this point. But somehow it's not. You know, Force Awakens starts, and Leia's leading the Resistance, which doesn't make much sense because what are they resisting against? And the First Order is really, really powerful for some reason. Whatever. But they just kind of like put things back the way they were. Let's just do it again. Here's Han Solo. Here's the Millennium Falcon. Yeah. So it was fun. It was cool. It was pretty safe. And that makes me kind of sad because it was kind of just like a redo. Again, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't really. It didn't go too far, you know. Then The Last Jedi happened, and people go crazy with The Last Jedi. They hate it. They think it's awful. I think that The Force Awakens was a 7 out of 10. No better, no worse. Just kind of average, you know, B-, C+. Here it is. The Last Jedi tried really hard to be an A++, and it succeeded in a lot of ways. I think that The Last Jedi is essentially a 11 out of 10 movie, while also being like a 3 out of 10 movie. Everything involving Luke, Rey, and Kylo, in my opinion, is some of the best stuff in Star Wars in the whole franchise. The notion of Luke being reckless and failing and removing himself from a situation and kind of being a recluse, and of Rey going to him and him kind of working through it. The notion of Rey being this person who is just a person. She's not Obi-Wan's daughter. She's not Luke's daughter. Maybe she is. I mean, who knows? But, you know, she's just this person. And that's cool. And then, of course, Kylo's character, which is just... Kylo Ren is the best character in Star Wars. Like, you know, in the first movie, he was portrayed as this kind of whiny child who has all of his power, doesn't really know what to do with it, and he kind of just wants to be like this Darth Vader figure. He wears this stupid helmet for no reason. And there's this Snoke guy we don't really know about at all, which is kind of weird because the problem is that people are like, well, why can't Snoke just be this new character? The problem is that in the storyline, we're introduced to the idea that at the end of Return of a Jedi, there are no more Jedi. You know, Vader, Emperor, Yoda, Luke and Leia were all that were left. You know, so we're given this notion, so we see Snoke and we're like, what's going on? So we have this Snoke guy, and Kylo's kind of in his shadow, and in Episode 7, we were given our expectation. You know, the Episode 7 did a really good job of meeting our expectations. There's a bad guy in a helmet, Han Solo's here, there's a Millennium Falcon, there's a desert planet, there's a Death Star, You know, there's an empire and a rebellion. Meet all of our expectations, you know? And then in Last Jedi, they did a really good job of kind of circumventing our expectations, where they threw things all in the loop, you know, where Kylo is reprimanded for being a stupid kid. He smashes his helmet and starts to kind of come into his own as a character and realize what he really wants, you know? And Rey's kind of finding herself, Luke is kind of finding himself, and Kylo's character is just awesome. He's just so... you just don't know with him, you know? You kind of feel like maybe he's good or not good. You know, there's a moment where he can pull a trigger on Leia in the ship, it doesn't do it, but he killed his dad. He's a very confused, wild, unpredictable, gray, not black and white character. He's not Darth Vader killing people. He's not Luke Skywalker, I want to do good, you know? And Luke takes the notion of the Jedi as this, like, really just good thing. We're the Jedi, we're just the good guys, you know? And turns it on its head, you know, this is just dogma. We're too stuck in our ways. You know, we kept doing the same things and making these Sith unintentionally and having people fall to the dark side and blah, 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 blah. And I just love the whole storyline. Everything about Luke, Rey, and Kylo is just, like, the best. I love it. I get chills. It's great. The casino scenes, the slow speed chase, the casino scenes in general, I think were just terrible. I just didn't like him at all. I love Finn's character. They always give him the worst things to say. I think Phasma's character is stupid. I think General Hux is stupid. Like, he's supposed to be the leader of this entire empire, or whatever, First Order, but he's like a 20-year-old dude who can't get his shit straight, you know? There's a lot of problems, but I think that, like, the good parts of Last Jedi were phenomenal. Like, you know, 11 out of 10, and if that's the direction that we were kind of going into, I'm cool with that. At least Last Jedi took some chances, took some risks, and at least took a few steps forward, you know? Then we come to the Rise of Skywalker. I'm come to kind of my main point of the reason I think that is each movie has a different director. So Abrams did the first one. Was it Johnson did the second one? And now a different director's doing the third one. And you can see the disconnect. You can see where J.J. Abrams wanted an action movie that did follow all the common tropes. Johnson wanted to destroy those tropes, and they're actually fighting each other. You know, in the first movie, Kylo wears a mask. In the second movie, Kylo smashes his mask because he thinks it's stupid. You know, in the first movie, who are Rey's parents? Who are Rey's parents? Who are Rey's parents? And in the second movie, who cares? Doesn't matter who his parents are. This is stupid. Throw this out. You know? And I like the idea of kind of fixing that, but I wish we didn't have to fix it in the first place. You know, like, so now we have a movie, and then a movie is trying to fix the things from that movie, and now we're going into this trailer we just watched of The Rise of Skywalker, and it looks like they're doubling back a third time. So, movie number 1, here are your expectations. We're going to give this to you. Spoon feed it to your mouth. Movie number 2, expectations, out the window. We're trying something new. We're taking some big risks. Our goal is to circumvent your expectations and try and do some new stuff. The line, what's the line? I just read the line. Kylo's line in the movie about the past. Destroy the past, kill it if you have to. Like, the theme in the movie. Love it. And then, in the third movie, we just watched the trailer, and Lando's flying the Millennium Falcon. The Emperor's laugh is in the end. It's called The Rise of Skywalker, implying that Rey is just a Skywalker after all. It's like it's trying to double back again, which is just like, I mean, what is it? You know, like, where's the continuity? Why can't we have a cohesive idea through all 3 movies? You know, like, that's the problem that I have, is that this trilogy feels so disjointed and so just confusing. It doesn't have a clear set path. It's just sort of like, well, let's just do a Star Wars movie, and we can have laser beams and lightsabers and whatever. First Order, do it. You know? Yes, Kylo is Luke's grandson, but he's not a Skywalker. I mean, like, if you take your father's name, and I guess that's how things work, right? He should be a Solo technically, but maybe it is. I don't know. Obviously, this is all a knee-jerk reaction off of a 2-minute trailer. If it's a teaser trailer, just part of me kind of saying my feelings in the whole series, because it frustrates me, because I do like Star Wars a lot, and there's a lot of really good stuff in these movies, but they just can't get it right. They can't get the whole thing to flow together as one cohesive unit. A lot of it is just the changing of directors, and it really sucks Carrie Fisher died, aside from the obvious reason of Carrie Fisher's awesome, and that just, she just died far too young. It felt like this was kind of going to be her movie. I don't know. It's just... Star Wars is tough, and it's a... Star Wars fans are the worst. People in chat are like, well, this Last Jedi was terrible. I think you're just wrong, but it's the kind of thing where I just want to see it done well. I just want to see it be... I want to see it be good, and you see it, and when you see the potential. In the prequels, they're just terrible. Whatever, they're just bad. Just, if they were going to redo those, they would just redo everything. Just throw it all out and do it all over again, because they were so bad. But these movies... There's a lot of good. There's, like Kylo Ren's a great character. Rey's a great character. Where they put Han, Luke, and Leia, I liked it a lot. People were like, they destroyed their characters. My childhood heroes are losers now. I can't believe this. What am I going to do? Oh my God, Disney, I hate you. Shut up. I think that Luke, Han, and Leia's story arcs are great. Your heroes are not always heroes. They fall apart sometimes. Things don't always work out. And that's really cool. And I like that a lot. There's like a lot of cool potential. There's a lot of really cool potential in this, but the execution just feels so off in a lot of ways, like it's frustrating. Like Finn, like Finn's great. Never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes. Like, I love Finn. He's just a charismatic dude. He's fun. I like his mannerisms. He's a great actor. He's a cool character. And they make him say stuff like, see you later, Chrome Dome. Like, Will says the new trilogy is a prime example of why you need an outline and a plan. Yeah. I think that's honestly just a big part of it. If they had sat down, I don't know if they wrote all the scripts together, or they've been writing, like, let's write a script. Hey, we filmed it. Let's write a script. Hey, let's film it. Or they did everything together. I feel like they didn't. I feel like they were just like, let's make a movie. All right, now you make a sequel to that movie. All right, now you make a sequel to that movie. I don't know, personally. But, yeah, it just feels like you're kind of just doing them, and they needed to sit down, Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings style, and just, like, write the whole thing at once, and you just film the whole thing at once, honestly, and just do it. Like, it just... Marvel's obviously been setting up the Marvel thing for like the last 10 or 12 years. It hasn't been perfect every step of the way, but they've done a pretty good job of keeping this cohesive, having the same feel the whole way through. But, yeah, Finn's great, but he just isn't given anything cool to do, Yeah, like, and then the thing is that, like, if they gave JJ the whole thing, and the whole thing just had the motif of Force Awakens, all right, I'm cool with that, Rotten CTM just hits it out of the park in chat. I could not agree more. Rotten says the first trilogy benefited a lot from George Lucas having an overarching vision, and then a lot of people telling him no. That's why the prequels are so bad. Because a lot of times, the person who creates the world, or the person who creates the story, the overarching story, isn't very good at individual storytelling. George Lucas is not a good director. And in the original series, he did stuff like, you gotta watch this. Hold on 1 second. There's a YouTube video. It's a 20-minute documentary on how the original Star Wars was saved in editing. You gotta watch it. If you're a Star Wars fan, it is required watching. It is a...
In order to
20-minute video. George Lucas was going to wreck Star Wars. Star Wars was going to be awful. And his wife at the time and the other people helped out, made sure that they fixed it for him, basically. He had the vision, and they put the story through, So with the prequels, he had full control, and he's freaking George Lucas. Everyone there's a yes man. No one's going to say no to George Lucas. No one's going to say, George, I think this flappy-eared, comic relief, mildly racist character who's flopping around everywhere, stepping in poop and saying, "Excuse me," might not be a good idea. No one said that, you know? And because everyone was scared to. And if they did, he would just fire them probably. So, obviously Lucas wasn't super involved in the sequels, not the prequels, but just the need for an overall unifying vision. And that's just something that the prequels lack. And it's kind of frustrating, you know? Like, I'm not the... Like, I think that Star Wars fans go way too far. Star Wars fans are terrible in a lot of ways. You know, they're sending hate mail to, like, people, and just they're just awful. You know, and I'm not one of those people. And like I said, I actually like The Last Jedi a lot. But it's frustrating that, like, there's just so much cool potential. And the world of Star Wars is great. You know, like, Rogue One, awesome. Rogue One was fantastic. Just an awesome war movie set in the setting of Star Wars. And that had me really, really amped for more, like, Star Wars story type movies. And then they released Solo, and it was just awful. Like, just couldn't cast the right guy for Han Solo. It just kept changing. Like, they changed directors like 10 times. Oh my god! Like we watched Solo actually at a Magic tournament. I think it was like me. I think Tannen was there. Joe Lissette, few Magic players. We saw it, and I was like, already pretty iffy on it. Like 3/4 of the way through, then Darth Maul shows up. Spoilers, deal with it. And I almost vomited in my mouth. It was so bad. At no point did I feel like the actor playing Han Solo was Han Solo in any way at all. And again, it's not like that's part of the problem of, like, trying to copy Harrison Ford. But when Donald Glover was on the screen, he was on the screen for literally 10 seconds, and I was like, "Yo, that's Lando Calrissian, right there," you know. So it's just frustrating, you know. It's the just wanting to see this great world and the potential of these stories really done well. And it's a coin flip. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Always different hands in it, you know. Just give it to one person and let them do it, you know. And I think that Johnson is, who the guy who did The Last Jedi, is supposed to have his own trilogy after this. I'm actually amped for that, because Last Jedi, it at least showed some semblance of forward thinking and vision, and the ability to take some risks and go beyond the canon. And not just be like, well, there's a Skywalker, and another Skywalker, and another Skywalker, and there's the Empire, and there's the dark side, and there's another Skywalker, and it's just like, you know, the ability to kind of break free from that. And Last Jedi was trying to do that. And then it seems like with this new trailer, they're just kind of going back. You know, there's a scene in the trailer of Kylo repairing his helmet. Kylo smashing his helmet was one of the best scenes in The Last Jedi. It was the scene where he just got chewed out by Snoke. He just killed his dad, and he's clearly torn apart about it. But he's like trying to make that. He's like, you know, I killed Han Solo. I killed my dad. I did it. It's like, you're just a whiny kid. You don't even know why you did it, kind of, you know. And he's kind of like dealing with that and realizing it's Snoke is just this guy who's kind of using him. And he smashes the helmet, you know, in a fit of rage, realizing he's not the person he wants to be. Awesome. Those weren't Kylo's hands repairing the helmet, then who would be? Again, we're on a stupid trailer. It's funny because I actually hate watching trailers. I usually refuse to do it. This is probably why, because I get all worked up. But I have a rule: I just don't watch trailers to things because I want to go into it with no expectations. But in this case, I felt like everyone was already blasting it up on Kylo Hux. That's funny, on Twitter, and I felt like just me streaming the next 8 months, I was not going to be able to get away from it, so I watched it. Maybe that was a mistake. But, oh yeah, I have not seen a single Endgame trailer. I'm going in totally dark. So maybe I broke the rule for a reason. Or for not for a good reason. I don't know. But, they were hairy alien hands? Alright. Maybe I'm wrong. But the feeling I got from the trailer was, you know, Rise of Skywalker, maybe Rey is a Skywalker, maybe Kylo wants to put his helmet back together. I don't know. I hope I'm totally wrong. I hope my reading of this trailer is totally wrong, and we get all the good parts of The Last Jedi with a more cohesive story. I hope. I'm not super hopeful, but I really, really hope, because Star Wars is great, and it's funny because like people are like, how can you even like Star Wars if you don't even like half of it, But the body of work is just so big now; it's hard to like everything, There are Shakespeare plays that aren't great, There are albums by bands that you like that aren't that good, When a band releases 12 albums, you're probably not going to like one of them, But yeah, so that's my rant. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I have a lot of strong feelings about like movies and stuff like this. Like I could go through every Marvel movie and just tear each one apart, all things I like and didn't like. This is fun. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in chat or in the YouTube comments. Because I think this stuff's really, really fun. I told Nicole went out tonight, and I'm like, when you come back, we're gonna hash it out over this Star Wars thing. And then my buddy Matt, my buddy Matt's we've been best friends since high school, and Matt's a huge Marvel nerd. Matt actually cosplays as Captain America, and Matt loves Marvel and loves Star Wars, and we've just grown up like arguing about this stuff and just getting into dumb arguments about this and Star Wars and Marvel and stuff. And I'm going to go visit him in a few weeks. I told him we're going to have to have a fist fight about this new Star Wars trailer. Yeah, there's Matt on it. Yeah, there's Matt as Captain America. Captain America cosplay. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, so that's my rant. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. We're gonna play some more Magic, and that's all I got for right now. Questions, comments, concerns, but yeah, I just hope this movie's good. I'm really hoping. When I walked out of the theater for The Last Jedi, I felt really good because the good parts just hit so hard. And seeing it a few more times, the bad parts do kind of stink. They're kind of corny, but the good parts are so good. So you just want to see a movie that's all good parts. Give me all the good parts. Give me Rey and Kylo. I want to see more of that. Rey and Kylo playing off each other, and are they good? Are they bad? Is Kylo good? Is he redeemable? Is he not redeemable? Is Rey possibly fallible or fallible? Can she get to him? The idea that Rey was pitching to Luke about like Kylo actually being what they need to win. That if she can get to Kylo and get him on the good side, they can do good together. Just oh yeah, I don't know. So but yeah, that's my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Watching on YouTube, subscribe and comment. Again, all bad comments will be deleted because people obviously get nutso about this. I feel like the Star Wars crowd on YouTube is pretty rowdy, so I will be deleting comments that are inappropriate. And yep. All right. Y'all great.